Hey, what's up, guys? Got another deck list. Of course, it's my take on Mimicry Boo. And before you even get too deep into looking at the list, I might just give this little disclaimer: is that this is a deck that has like the doors wide open on it. I have seen multiple different builds playing against it. I have had my own couple of different versions, and I recently played like Miguel's version is the one that most recent that stands out to me that was like running Unleashed to dominance. I've seen ones with only dominance. I've seen ones that are like for me I kind of went more of an anger focus. I've seen other people going a lot more angry. Um, I'm not going to tell you which one's best. I guess you're going to have to try and play it out. All I can say is each of them has their own strengths. I've seen some people talk about camping on level 1 with Boo, running Boo and other masteries to get a better use of his level 1 power. Ultimately, I'll say this. This is my take on it. I'll go through some changes that I made just recently to this list, and maybe versions that I'm going to try out myself. So take this one. It's still pretty preliminary. Well, I have put probably like 5 games on this deck as of now, like a week-ish into the set. Um, I have a lot of other stuff I'm playing. I don't know how much I'm going to try to refine this one, but I will say this. The combos in this deck that I really do like are a lot of fun, and there are a couple that I'm going to name off that aren't in this deck for one reason or another that could be really cool and might be worth trying out for somebody. I'm not sure if I'll get around to doing them. So with like all of that out of the way, we'll just roll right into the mastery. Since it is a newer set, uh, remember this mastery is all about playing cards with copy in the title. You can put up to 3 of them from your discard pile back into your life deck. You get a shuffle for your life deck. So if you're a deck that's rejuvenating, this one doesn't really do it at all, I don't think, um, other than like 1 card, but it's something, or 2 cards. It's something that is really cool. Deck shuffling is always good, but the biggest thing is endurance can be used on your copied attacks, and this deck is trying to maximize being able to copy your opponent's attacks, so you can throw them back for unstoppable or always for no damage. Um, and there is a little bit of a card draw every time you hit an unstoppable. Sorry, not every time, but once per combat when you hit a successful copied attack, you get to draw a card. So playing on that theme, Boo's entire new stack all revolves around copying cards. He gets an anger every time he performs a copied attack on level 1. He can copy a power of a personality and play on this level 1. And then he also gets Hero of Aegis effect. When you would discard a card from your hand, you reveal it instead. Unfortunately, Boo loses that part, which is a big part of the synergy with this deck. But his level 2 lets you go grab name, set up a drill. We do have his name drill in this deck, not his setups. I found them to just be too clunky when I was running them. If you're running the new Boo level 1. And then also this power is a 5 life card physical that gives you anger, and if your opponent's used a power, much like Future Gohan, kind of effect, he gets to gain 2 anger, and it's considered a copy attack, which is unpreventable with our mastery. So there are going to be games where you can slime to 3, not too super often. Even when I was running a little bit more anger in this, it was really hard to do it consistently. So ultimately, in my opinion, if you're going to try to level with Boo to hit his 3 and 4, which are about they're pretty much blue decap uh, effect out of your pile and then out of either player's pile, um, along with the reveal effect here, continuing on this 3 and 4. If you realistically, you're gonna never really be leaving like level 1 or 2 in this deck. Most of the time, I get stuck on 1. If you run the angered package kind of cards, it's hard to really consistently get off 1. It really depends on. I was playing a lot of non-anger decks with this and testing, and it was just a pain in the ass to leave this level 1. It was really tough. So um, anyway, we'll get on to my list. Yeah, forget me. I gotta do these. I'm always doing these lists super late, so um, after I've been working all day. But we'll move on to the like planning cards first. So I run Bobbity Ally. I remember when this ally came out, it was super weird because I'm like, well, he's probably gonna only be good with Boo, and then you see the Boo stack, and you're like, how the hell do I fit this ally in any deck? of mine that's Majin, and this is like the one deck. I shouldn't say the one deck, but like this stack of Boo specifically, um, and just Blue in general, is seeming to be the best style for like Majin Buu right now. And maybe I shouldn't say best style, but he's Babidi's got the best place in the style. You could search him out and think and such. But his powers, you raise a player's anger one, and you gain 3 stages. So really cool. Helps you out quite a bit in this deck to help the level. You can copy with your level 1 power, so you get him on board. Now you have 2 anger on board plus 6 stages every turn, which is pretty fun. It is something your opponent does have to play around. Plus you can redirect damage from Boo to Babidi and keep your monster AT really easily, so pretty cool. My favorite combo, like probably my most consistently favorite ally and combo in this deck, is Raditz. So as an action, you can always play him out of your hand if you draw him and you rejuvenate a styled card. But his power is search electric for a styled setup place to play. I really want to take this combo with his level 1 to copy a power and this Raditz ally and put it in a different deck. Like black, for example, would be really good. Being able to constantly use this Raditz. Or even red would be really good. Only issue is if you're trying to like level, you're not really going to consistently be able to use this power. This is really only something that you do on level 1, where you can actually use this. However, it's really not too hard to do that to get him out in blue. Not to mention, blue has some really good setups, which I'll go into that just build you up some really good advantage. So, Resourceful Boo, absolutely would love this combo. Resolute Boo, I dare say, would love this combo quite a bit too. Blue Boo in general. But the other styles, I want to try to make it work. And some campier Boo. Or something that might be able to actually grab the Ceratus ally. But anyway, that's a really cool combo. And then this is one I just added in. So there's one other ally I want to mention real quick too is Bardock ally. So both Bardock and Raccoon, Bardock ally, if you don't know what he does for movie collection, he's a 3-stage physical attack. If stopped, draw a card. What's really cool about the Bardock ally is you can use your level 1 to copy that power. So if they stop it, you draw a card. If it hits, you draw a card with mastery. So they kind of put in a, oh, I guess he draws no matter what. The only issue is the 3-stage physical. So it's hard to justify me to run it over somebody like Raccoon. Now Raccoon is just a very recent ad, like as in right before making this video I threw him in. His physical attack, again, you're only ever going to use this power, much like Raditz, when you're on level 1. But like I said, it gets locked on one quite a bit. But this is a card draw, which is really cool. Matter of fact, if it lands in sorry, if it lands in Mimicry Mastery, I have to think my words out here. If it lands in Mimicry Mastery, it's a 2-card draw. If you're willing to pay the stages, you get to draw off your bottom discard pile, and you get to draw a card on top. What's really cool is even if you have no pile, the moment it's successful, you're going to mill yourself 2 to draw a card with this. You'll get a pile instantly, and you get to draw that card with Raccoon. So really cool combo. I haven't actually used it yet. I haven't played a game where I actually had Raccoon in, but he was just always somebody on the line. I know other people like Jace Ally to grab with Boo's level 1. I mostly wanted to stick to allies I could use actively, and I kept it pretty light. I think Raccoon is just really good, and like I said, Bardock, but Raccoon is the AT physical, which is good, because Boo is in F and E quite a bit. And I do run some stage beats. I had more stage beats in here prior to this, like I say more like one more card that actually did stage damage. I was running Blue Slap, which I ended up cutting because it just was never like useful other than anti-anger is all it really ended up being. So, but just cool combos there. And because of this level 1 alone, like you're gonna see people run decks that don't even run allies. You're gonna see people that run a bunch of allies and sit on one to reuse those powers, like the active powers. So it's just things to consider. But I think this lineup is really cool. Next we get into Absorbing Drill. It's an Omni Block drill. Need to say more. It plays in your power. This thing is ridiculous to get out. This deck is really good at building a wall up, much like a Blue Krillin, with Absorbing Drill. And then we get into like Blue Blockade, So we'll just actually skip over the other two drills real quick, but talk about like this blue blockades, which you can loop with Raditz. It makes me want to run positioning drill, but I don't have the room right now. But then there's also stylish pose, stretch kick, and key build up, some more attacks, a little bit of anger, stage beats for the matchup where you need that, anti-anger and life card beats where you need that, key build up, stylish pose for some crits for Dragon Ball decks, ally decks, even anger, and helps you flood the allies out quicker so you can use their powers, which is super cool. All good combos, and blue blockade of course being awesome. Overpowering drill, comboing with the blue blockade, making you unstoppable. First, the copy attack unstoppable, which is huge. This card, and also recuperating drill, being allowing you to copy an attack and give you some passive anger, and anger control is really good. Overall, all the nons in this deck are really useful. Yeah, I really like them all. Key build up actually wasn't in initially, but I threw it in just before this edit. Same with Raccoon after I made some cuts. So I think it's going to be the right play here, or so rather the right move here to keep those all in there. We get into the attack line, the block line. So a lot of emphasis on the deck is really in the board cards. The attacks are kind of whatever, pretty bland, standard blue, and the blocks are going to be pretty basic and standard for blue mimicry. But of course, decap, trail, slash, head knock, anger control, damage, mill. So right off the bat, this stuff is all life card beats, so it doesn't really go with the stage beats too well. Most mimicry decks are going to be wanting to run these cards. They're the best cards in blue. They're all physical attacks, and none of them give you anger. So all those things kind of like hurt for running an anger package in mimicry. Just more reasons to consider not going the anger route, going like Unleashed and Blue Dominance. But I do run Concussive Strike for some pile hate. A problem with it is I don't get to choose the pile. The Rejuvenation's cool. It's really just for the anti-anger, and the flat 6 is pretty cool, but this is a card that should probably cut out of here. It just does not do enough in this deck. So I'm going to throw it off to the side actually, and I'll talk about what I would probably throw in its place, but I didn't really have anything off the top of my head when I was finishing the list and editing it earlier. But Blue Lunge Tempo, now these cards, I was talking to Miguel, and Miguel, again, running the Unleashed stuff, it's like, oh, fuck those cards. He says they're poopy, but they have a lot of, my deck is definitely different than his. He wasn't running any allies, he wasn't really running the same kind of setups, like he was running like Agility and Rebuke, because he was running attached cards, right? So if you were going to go that route, not run all of these active ones, there's a lot of slots different. Not to mention he wasn't running tempo and lunge well. Tempo and lunge both help me rip out my attack setups and my attack drills. What's really cool about tempo is it can grab key build up, stretch kick, recuperating drill, or it can grab my name drill. So there's 7 different cards this thing can grab, which is really awesome. And recuperating and absorbing are just amazing. So they really make this deck. When you can get one of these two or both of these out with overpowering drill, you're a real menace to your opponent. You're just throwing unstoppable attacks back at your opponent all the time. Same with decap with overpowering drill. Super good combo. Decap of course performs combo the attack, so it's unstoppable. Oops. Trying to get rid of all these things here. This does not let me. There we go. While lunge helps me just rip these out faster. So it's going to help me run through my deck quicker and just avoid dead draws, which is really good. I really want overpowering drill. This is the main card that you want. That's your board card out of the deck. So we're just trying to get to those quick with these. And these set up board really nicely for you to go in for a kill turn. Kind of almost in like a resourceful-esque sense, but they also just help you get up this wall with absorbing drill and blockades. Really nice. Again, positioning drill would be really nice for this deck. I just don't have the slots, so if I was going to do that, I would probably would just cut stretch kick entirely for 2 positioning drill, call it a day. Because just looping like blockades as your defense and using absorbing drill, and then just proceeding to just throw unstoppable copied attacks and then throw the life card attacks would be fun. Again, these cards kind of are out of place with their damage type. They're mostly there for their utility, and Boo does have like that really high AT, so these can come in for pretty big against the right deck, and you can start stage locking certain opponents. But again, weakest cards of the deck, along with Concussive Strike, but also the best utility. So it's a tough choice. Again, it's going to come down to how you want to build your deck. If you want to really, I'm really pushing like the setups and the allies in mine and the drills. So my non-combats are my most important cards, whereas other people, your attack line and unleash are going to be most important. So ultimately comes up to how you build this deck. For our final two attacks in the deck, Blue Energy Push and Blue Seeking Blast. Seeking Blast is just in here. I didn't have this in initially, but I added it now. Especially with playing Miguel, it's like getting out overpowering drill is just crazy. Same with recuperating, and you might as well run. You might as well run this card. So plus it's got some endurance. One of my big issues with this deck, I just should say, like Blue Mimicry. A lot of the cards that they want to run don't have endurance. I also don't run the new Blue Energy that lowers the anger one. You can make your next tech considered copied. Probably should run that, but slotting right now. If actually that would be the card. I'm gonna cut Concussive Strike for that right now, actually. So we're just gonna, for anybody who's still listening here, I doubt anybody is, but I'll show you the card. That should be. I'm just gonna bring it up. Blue text copy. It is called Blue Energy Push. No, that's not it. Blue copy. Blue Barrage. This card, if you can put in the deck, lower your opponent's anger 1, disrupt 2 cards from top of your life deck. If you destroyed any cards from, if you destroyed any cards from next style attack, it's considered a copy attack. So it's 5 for 1, lower anger 1. Makes your next attack unpreventable with the mastery. So definitely worth running. I think I would run that over this for sure. That's probably what's going to happen right now. But Energy Push has copy in the text. That's mainly why it's there, and it gives you like a little bit of a Orange Energy Dan drill, Red Hunting drill kind of esque effect, Red Orange Precise Shot effect, where you cherry pick out of your opponent's deck a card. I was running, like I said, Blue Slap because you can name that card with this and you put it right in your hand, but Blue Slap was just too weak. So Energy Ricochet and Avoidance are just in there for the anti-anger. Ricochet can do you a lot of work with all the setups in the deck if you have them out when you play this, so a lot of extra anti-anger. Avoidance and Swift Block are just there for the copy attacks. And again, these cards, along with your Absorbing Drill, which lets you stop an attack, then you can perform a copy of it by discarding a card. These cards all power off like that level 1. Again, level 1 seems to be the best spot for this deck if you're not going to be able to get to 3 consistently, with my card choices at least. So, all things to consider. There's going to be matchups where you're going to fly off one because you just go and copy their attack power that raises anger. Next thing you know, you get 2 anger every combat from that. You're going to have stuff like that. But really, this deck shines on 1, which is great. The way I built it, I can level and I don't have. I can and I can't level. Like, again, Overpowering Drill can help me fly up levels really nicely. Recuperating Drill, I get these 2 going. Pretty awesome, giving me extra anger. So a decent amount of rejuve, okay endurance, nothing spectacular. I mean, adding Seeking Blast and adding that other one that's got 2 endurance over this, I mean, I'm going to gain. I mean, there's enough endurance where it's at least there, but the setup's not having endurance makes this tough. Same with my drills not having endurance. A lot of times I get hit for just straight life, and on top of the fact that you have to destroy off your deck to draw, it's really tough to come back when you get behind against a beats deck. That's been my biggest issue with Mimicry, is that if you get behind with Mimicry, if you don't get out overpowering drill and like recuperating, especially overpowering, it's really hard to come back. Even if you get a full aggro hand, like you have to be hitting, and overpowering drill is just the key card of the deck. It runs so much differently with this drill out, and I will have some matches up at some point if they're not already up by the time this uploads. Some matches with Miguel where he got, he didn't get this drill out at all. Game one, I was playing Ramp Gotenks. I kind of just walked all over him. But then game two and three, he gets this out, and then he gets recuperating drill out, and I instantly am like on a timer. Like this card is so strong. This makes it makes it really really hard for you to do anything as the opponent, to play around it. It's just really hard unless you have draw some hate to it. Um, it just completely changes the game. So I've had some Mimicry games that I don't have recorded, but I've like won entire games pretty much because I got this out and I just kept putting this card out even when it got killed. Um, so things to consider. Again, boost power works is pretty universal, like not universal, but rather versatile. So you can go quite a few different ways in the deck building. Again, I'm going to try out the Raccoon, see if it's any bit worth it. If it's not, cut it. Stretch kicks, probably cuttable. The Blue Barrage has got to go in over the Concussive Strike. Again, these cards are the most cuttable in my mind. Uh, Unleash package would be cool and all, but it's just the matter of the spacing. Um, I like running it like this boardiness. Problem is in like non-resolute. Like these are dead draws. You draw two of them, you're fucked. Uh, so just things to consider. But all in all, guys, I really like this deck. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, I hope you enjoy, and maybe you can try out this deck. Maybe your build is completely different. Maybe you've got some ideas. I might just try an unleashed version and upload that too, for everybody to see. So, but anyway, guys, I think this mastery is a little bit underrated, but it's kind of crappy that it really pigeonholes you into what you can run in it to get the maximum power of this. I think Boo is definitely probably the best MP for this mastery, but there are other people. Any alien in blue right now is looking pretty good. So, but anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.